Welcome back once again to the podcast that is better than all the other podcasts about the Brisbane Premier League. And we're going to change the name. Fortunately, I think we have a new name. Are you ready for it, Rafe?
I'm ready for it.
We're called TSX.
TSX?
That's So-Called Experts.
But I am an expert, so I don't need to be so called, surely.
No, I don't know whether you can classify yourself.
That was very tongue-in-cheek, that one.
Oh, no, it was. Look at you. You're blushing. I'm Phil Davis from the Washington Light. You're Rafe Griffin from everywhere else.
I am.
Been some brilliant football.
I missed you last week, though.
Oh, no. Well, we crashed our car. We'll take mutual blame for that. My motorcycle broke down. I did everything I possibly could, did I not?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And we tried to catch up by phone in the end. It broke up our little date that we were going to have last Wednesday night. We're going to record the podcast here.
And go to Mitchelton versus Force.
And we're going to go to Sizzler first as well, of course.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, weren't we all looking excited for that?
I love that cheesy bread stuff.
Anyway, people don't need to hear about our eating habits, but yeah, I made it down to Mitchelton Force. And
yeah, you did.
I did.
I didn't get to any games simply because I was in a distraught state after my car and my motorbike. And yeah.
Well, I made up for you last week.
Yeah, you did. How many games did you go to?
Two. Two Flight Centre Premier League games.
Where'd you go to?
I went on Friday night and I keep on calling, I want to go, it's the Gap versus someone, but it's UQFC playing at the Gap, and they played against Logan Lightning.
They did. What did you think of the game? I heard a few reports. Some from you.
Some from me?
Yeah.
I think Logan had the best of the first 10, 15 minutes. If they could have put it, one away then, it would have been a completely different complexion on the match, but as it was, UQFC scored first through a penalty, and then in the 88th minute, Logan bobbed up to equalise. And so they both, would you believe it, UQFC, Logan, top of the table, the two undefeated sides after round 3.
Unbelievable. It's great for both teams, both clubs, great for the league, I think. UQ are actually top.
UQ are top on goal difference, yeah.
It's very good. I watched the highlights, of course, and I thought it was a penalty.
I got asked by a lot of the players afterwards.
Yep.
And I wasn't so sure.
Yeah.
But on the second look of it, that linesman got it spot on.
Yes. The commentator sits on the fence a lot.
He didn't. He actually said, good call that time.
He did indeed. He's a very good commentator. Yeah, he should get paid more for that. So that was a great result. Mitchie won versus Lions 4. What I heard was Lions should have won by more.
Yes, but not based on the first half performance.
Yeah.
First half was very even. Mm-hmm. And then
you were at that one too.
I was.
That was the other one.
It's just down the road.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I was there. First half was pretty even, and a Mitchelton identity said to me at half time, Lions have lost their aura. They're not the same side as they were last year. And I actually agreed with that statement. Yeah. And bang, second half, it was a completely different Lions performance. I went up to Mooney afterward and said, what did you change at half time? He said, no, didn't change anything at half time, just gave them a bit of a spray. Yeah. And he has commented that with the loss of Matthias Simic, also Nathan Reardon was out. Yep. So those back two are critical. Yep. So at least he'd probably get Reardon back this week. Yes. But that leaves a big hole in his side at the moment. So.
Yeah, I think that woke everyone up. When Mitchelton equalised, I had visions of Chelsea. Chelsea this year. Everyone's focusing on Leicester in the EPL. Yeah. But don't forget, Chelsea started off so bad. They were in relegation zone briefly, I think. Great win for Lions, and the cat is amongst the pigeons again. Roche won versus Peninsula 1. Rochdale came very, very close to beating. It would be a big upset.
It was a stoppage time goal from Cato too, wasn't it, to equalise?
Yes, it was. 90+2, I believe. That just augurs well for Rochdale's chances, I believe. They just were, just didn't have any gusto to them so far, but...
They just need time, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. It's probably the same as a few teams that they need a bit of time to get there. But look, that's a really good result for Roche. An excellent outcome. Another team that needs time to develop, I believe, is Capella Bay, and they were beaten by Holland Park Hawks 2-0 up at the hill.
So you think it's just a matter of time for Capella Bar to gel? And as we've talked about before, they've had a completely different squad over the off-season. So.
Yep, I do think it's a matter of time for them to gel because they are probably the newest squad of all, aren't they?
Yep, pretty much. Yep. Apart from UQFC, they've
brought a
whole heap of new players in. But, as we've touched on before, Jeff Herford's dealing with pretty much. You couldn't even say he had the nucleus of last year's side.
No, it's true. If you look at the actual squad on paper, there's probably no one that's, actually...
Kiriyama, he's still there, but...
Yeah. So anyway, that's a good result for Holland Park. We have to take that into account, don't we? Holland Park, great result.
So especially after backing up after that win against Lions the previous week, you probably could have forgiven them for perhaps being a bit flat, after being on that high, but, 2 wins in a row now, and only losing that first round game against Mitchelton in the last 3 or 4 minutes. So,
are they better than people think?
I think they are.
Yeah, I do too. Ipswich Knights 1 versus Eastern Suburbs 4. What a cracker of a game this was. This is where the real Tigers stood up. I gave them a serve in my previews because I was like, well, I'm sorry, I'm off the bandwagon, because to concede multiple goals against Mitchie, and they conceded 8 goals in 2 games.
So you were the one weighing them down, were you? On the bandwagon, were you? Now that you've got jumped off?
Now that I've jumped off, yes. I did get a serve from the last year for not being on the bandwagon.
Can't win, can you?
Yeah, you can't win. That is another sit-up and take notice result, because Eastern Suburbs have got a big game coming up this week, and have they turned it around? It took them how many games last year to turn it around? 5,
6,
wasn't it? 6.
Yeah.
Well, they've only had 2 poor results. They should win the league by about 8 points, according to my calculations.
Well, right.
The final game was Albany Creek Excelsior versus Northpine United, which was a replay of the game that was played in midweek, and it was 4-2 to Albany Creek. Things look grim for Northpine already, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And, twice in 4 days, Albany Creek gets over the top of them, and I think one of those goals to Northpine was in the final few minutes, so Albany Creek were pretty much in control through both of those games.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Gorillas, they also don't look have a lot of depth.
And Jake Keslake, probably their best defender, is out at the moment through injury, so it's a bit grim, as you say.
They're starting to fall away at the bottom of the club championship table as well. And that's how you get relegated, isn't it, Rafe?
Well, as I noticed, the gap between 10th and 11th is already 15 points. And history suggests that, if you start falling behind in those bottom positions, it's very hard to claw back.
Yeah, absolutely. Has anyone clawed it back? Yeah, well, of course they did. No, Ipswich Knights clawed it back on the last day of the season, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah. That was a round-up from last weekend. There were some FFA Cup games played overnight. Well, there was lots of Capital League games. There were some interesting results. I thought the Taringa beating Wolves and South beating Southside Eagles were important.
Yes.
Not only because Taringa and South are now top of the table, but I think those 4 teams they're going to be in the hunt. Well, you don't. You think Taringa and Wolves are going to get relegated, don't you?
Yeah, thanks for outing me in the private chat that we had. Still could happen. I picked East to win the premiership last year. I still remain hopeful. I don't know. Yeah. But what I will say about Capital One, very, very tight, isn't it?
Except for Mount Gravatt.
It's so hard to pick. Yeah, Mount Gravatt.
Yeah, they've fallen away.
Yep.
I think that's representative of how good the league is, because they're not too much a different side to last year, Mount Gravatt. They've lost a couple, but they just seem to be off the pace.
Disrupted preparation. They had their coach, and he had to resign due to health reasons, and then Mick Matthews came over from Taringa. So, that probably counts a bit against them. Yeah. A couple of games before Easter to hopefully try and sort it out and get some momentum going after the break.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting... I was looking at the table. Obviously, I look at all the tables all the time because that's part of my role. And I don't think Mount Gravatt will go down. I don't know why. It's just one of those spiritual, hunchy things. But I just can't really pick who will.
Yeah, I can't either.
No, it's too hard.
Yep.
And I think we're going to have a cracker at the end of the season. And Taringa and South are playing in the Cup next week.
Oh, are they?
Yes. How good is that? At Jack Spear Park.
That'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think we're going to see Capital One, both ends of the table. It looks like it's going to come right down to the last week, if not 2 weeks.
Yep. That's why. The Southside Eagles they started really well. They've got some good players, but if they could have ground out some points out at Wakeley Park, could have been good. But Taringa's win over Wolves for me was impressive, and I suspect they might go straight back up, as opposed to going straight down. FFA Cup overnight.
You can't win them all, Phil. Come on. Not that I win that many. Anyway, FFA Cup.
Last night.
Now, speaking of Wolves.
Yes.
What a match. No one was out there, unfortunately. We didn't film it, didn't have anyone out there. Yep. But we were all following on the screens. It looked like upset, Redcliffe, PCYC, Cap 2 sides.
Initially, it was Wolves 1-0.
Yeah.
And then it was Redcliffe 2-1 after they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. And then it was 3-1. 3-all at half-time.
Yep.
And then this is Wolves going to get away with this.
4-3 to Redcliffe PCYC.
Yep.
Deep in stoppage time. Last kick of the game.
Yep.
Bang. Wolves score.
Last kick of the game.
4-4.
Yes, 4-4. At which point it did a UQ versus Wolves. Do you remember that cup game?
I was just about to reference that one. Yes. And pretty much it did happen that way because Wolves went on against that game against UQFC. And then last night they scored 5 goals in extra time.
Yes.
Courtesy, I think, of an injury to the Redcliffe PCYC keeper who had a broken leg.
Oh, right.
Yes, so that might tell a bit of the story as to why there were 5 goals scored in half an hour.
Yeah, well, this is, I think, the reason why they got that late equalised, because I was wondering, because time added on went for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yep.
So I knew there had been a serious injury in that game, but Wolves are through. There were no upsets. All the favourite teams.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all gone according to script so far.
Yeah, in both weeks. There's a whole bunch of games on tonight. I'm trying to get to one. If you didn't live in the worst traffic area in the whole world and my motorcycle hadn't broken down, I'm trying to get to Jimboomba. How likely is that to get from here to Jimboomba before 7 o'clock?
I don't know. But I'm going to probably head down to Peninsula and Brisbane Knights.
Oh, you are?
We should all know the result. Well, those listening will know the result by the time this goes up.
By the time this goes up. Yeah, I'm going to try. If I can't get to Jimboomba, I'm going to try and get up to Roachdale versus Bayside, which is...
That'll be a good one too.
Yeah, Bayside a good chance there. They're another team competitive in Capital One.
A couple of matches postponed, unfortunately. So there were going to be 2 matches next week anyway. Looks like there's going to be 4 now. So still plenty of choice next week as well.
Yeah, that's right. Tarragindi, Deception Bay, those 2 home teams are... Yeah, that's the FFA Cup and...
the Westfield FFA Cup.
Sorry, Juddy, I can hear you echoing out there. The Westfield FFA Cup and the Flight Centre Premier League and the Mount Franklin Women's Premier League. We love our sponsors. We really do. I love them. I do. I actually go out and buy the products of people that support the game. And I'm not being cynical or humorous. I have no sense of humour. Should we look at the games for the weekend? Have you got anything else to talk about?
No, let's move on.
Okay, well, there are some absolutely bottler games this weekend. There's no Friday night game this week.
Nope.
On Saturday, first game to kick off will be at Cornubia Park. Or is it Chris Green?
I think it's Cornubia Park.
Yeah, they played at Chris Green last night, I think.
Yes.
They did, didn't they? Logan FC Lightning, whatever they're called. I like to call them Logan FC. Play against North Pine United, and on the form of the 2 teams so far, you would say that Logan will probably be reasonably short price favourites.
Any special theme night this one?
Well, it was Hawaiian night last week, so this week maybe it's...
Mexican or something like that?
Yeah. Russian, Crimean.
Russian, right. Logan versus North Pine. I'm glad I'm the one that keeps everything on track.
Samoan?
The undefeated Logan against the hapless North Pine at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know whether... Look, hapless is a bit of a tough call, really. North Pine's still got some good players.
Yeah.
And they're not that bad. I think they'd still get promoted if they were in Capital One with that squad. But Logan, no, they're on the way, aren't they? They've got a good side. Richard Greer is... Having him not injured is a real bonus. And
Josh Sherwood doing well up front. Player that impressed me last week was Josip Beldovi. Scored the goal.
The equaliser, yeah.
Yep. So he looked very likely. And Logan's pre-season wasn't too crash hot, but they've certainly worked on things in the break there between the pre-season and the season proper, and things appear to start clicking.
Well, let's hope that they don't do what they did last year, which is fell in a heap.
Yep.
Because don't forget, this time last year they were top of the table.
Yes.
Maybe being second on goal difference will add to their growth, mateurism.
So we both going Logan?
I am going... I'm going to go the draw in that one.
You're going to go draw?
Yeah, I'm just going to go the draw. I've just got a feeling that Logan aren't really as good as they could be yet. So, well, look, I'm going the draw. I don't know why.
That's fine. You can do that.
I'm Phil Davis from the Washington. I do what I want. All right, so I'm going to mark that down. So I do my previous draw upset of the week.
Upset of the week, right, okay. It's called it early.
Okay, the next game is, this should be a really close game, Albany Creek versus Roachdale. I am going to suggest that both squads are of similar talent and capacity at this moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. We commented on it in the opening week that these are 2 sides that have pretty much kept the nucleus of their side. Obviously, Scott Sargent out last week was a big loss for Roachdale, so I'm not sure
Was he injured?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether he's back or not. Might rest him from the Cup game on Wednesday. Yeah, so I think you're right. It's a pretty even matchup. It'll be the TV game this weekend.
Yep.
Will I sit on the fence or will I go for one of the... I think Albany Creek at home, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Rochdale to win that one.
All right.
I just think that they, on last week's performance, that they've started to find their groove, and I think that they will win it. I don't know. Albany Creek are an interesting side. They can be really, really good, or they can be not bad, but just meh. You know what I mean?
That's a technical term for it?
That's actually a A-licence FIFA accredited term.
Okay.
Isn't that right, TK? He's got his A-licence.
He did. Let's talk about that later.
We will. Capalaba versus Lions now. Anybody worth their salt's going to tip Lions to win this, aren't they?
Well, I'm worth my salt then.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. But it's never easy down at John Fredericks Park
or pillar of salt.
Or the Sam Shacker Sports Ground or the Kennel or the Doghouse or whatever it's being called this week. G'day, Dasby.
No, it's never easy down there, and I did suggest that I think Capalaba are a improving team, and they're better than their results suggest, and they have... Well, it's not necessarily happened all the time, but they have a good record of beating very good teams at Sam Shacker, Kennel Sports, Fredericks Club. Okay. They do. I think they're every chance of being there. I don't think Lions will beat Capalaba by as much as they beat Mitchelton.
Interesting assessment.
What do you think?
I think Lions will win round about by 2.
Yeah, I'll go with Lions by 2 as well.
I want to point out Nathan Shepherd, though.
Oh, he's a fantastic player, isn't he?
Yes.
Amazing. He was in that game against Holland Park. To me, he was the standout for Lions. He's just quick.
Yep.
He looks very classy.
Yep.
Looks like an almost certain inclusion in Team of the Year even at this point.
After round 3, right.
I do like to call him early. It saves time later in the year.
So what's happening on Sunday?
Oh, on Sunday we've got a triple-decker special Flight Centre Premier League. 3 games that are going to be absolute crackers. Well, at least 2. The first one, 3:30 kickoff at Heath Park. So get out in the sunshine and get yourself some food from the canteen. They built it back up yet?
No, I think it's moved on.
All right, we'll get a sausage sizzle. Eastern Suburbs versus UQFC. And in the past, UQ have been East bogey team, have they not?
Indeed, they have. Didn't happen last year. But
no, it didn't last year.
2 or 3 years before that, East just couldn't crack them at all.
No, they couldn't.
And now that UQ are top of the table, undefeated, maybe that aura will again show itself at Heath Park.
There's so many, computations to this game. East are back, played really well last week. Are they back, or did they just play well?
Well, the thought that just came into my head, this is only round 4.
Yeah.
Is this a must-win for them if they're really legitimate going for the premiership?
Yes. I think so. Mooney suggested to me that a team could lose 4 games this year and win the title.
Yep.
So if they lose one more, well, they have to go the rest of the season and win every game. So, yeah, I think it is. If you want to win the premiership, you have to win this. And they wouldn't have seen this coming, would they? UQ are a different side, a different proposition, different coach. Luke, is it Luke? Luke Leggett?
Yes.
Interviewed by Darren on the former Bundaberg Spirit and across the Waves player. Yeah, no, Bundaberg Spirit, they finished last every year, I think.
Yep, it still had good support.
They had amazing support. They were charging like $12 on the gate, and they were getting like 2,000. It was incredible. Anyway, we'll get back to UQ versus Eastern Suburbs. You tell me, because I don't know. This is an enthralling game. I think anyway, if someone gets in front, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying it doesn't mean anything. I think either team can come from behind.
I think if he scored the first goal, I think that might be enough for them.
Look, something tells me that East are going to win it.
Yeah, something tells me East are going to win it too.
Yeah. But then, are we underrating UQ?
Yeah. So UQFC could win too. Or it could be a draw.
Common sense says that UQ will win.
As stupid as this sounds, all 3 results are in play.
They
legitimately.
Are. Absolutely. Legitimately. And it'll be interesting to see. I think East will be favourites on the betting agencies. Not that I bet, but I think they will be. But I'm going to go for East.
Yep, me too.
Oh, we're both on East. There's another game on Sunday, Knights versus Mitchelton. I thought I'll leave the other one till last.
Okay, fair enough.
Ipswich Knights versus Mitchelton. That's the Battle of the Greens out at Eric Evans Oval.
Yeah, they're battling a bit at the moment, Ipswich Knights.
Yeah. They really put in a good performance, and they really got trounced by East, didn't they?
Yeah. But it's never an easy trip out there on a Sunday afternoon, especially in the heat, although it might be a bit cooler this weekend.
It's the sun in your eyes that's a problem. It goes down over the hill beyond the train line, you know. Mitchie, have you seen their away strip yet this season?
Yeah, they played in it last Wednesday, the white one.
Oh, it's white, that's what it is. Yeah, that's right, because they had that terrific stripy strip last week.
Oh, you should have seen. Did you see Logan's away strip last week?
Oh, yeah, it was...
The fluorescent yellow.
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund.
They're on a work site.
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund wear the same colour. I didn't mind it, actually. I quite like teams that wear different colours completely. Although I've always held that Logan FC, their away strip should be red and green, like Beanley's strip.
Right.
Doesn't that make any sense?
Fair argument.
And also Logan's strip for the juniors is maroon and green, so surely they should incorporate green.
How did we get into fashion design?
You have to get a TAFE. I don't think football shirts are necessarily fashion.
Yeah, but we're going into a territory we have no idea about.
Okay.
Mitchelton will win.
I think Mitchelton will win as well, but I think they can be ropey too. They can be a bit shaky at times. Well, they were poor against Holland Park. They were poor in the first half against East, and they were poor in the second half against Lions.
Well, Leo's got an 8-hour flight back from Japan, so he'll have plenty of time to download this and listen to it.
Yes, he will.
And stew on it.
He's not playing though, is he?
He's not playing.
Damn shame. Yeah, look, common sense. I'm going for Mitchelton as well. And the final game, which is just an absolute crucial game for both sides. We're going to learn a lot from this game. I know we keep saying that every week. Learn a lot from these games. Peninsula Power versus Holland Park Hawks. 4 o'clock, Sunday afternoon, up at AJ Kelly Field on the big pitch with the leaves all over one side.
Would you have picked that Holland Park are higher on the table so far over Peninsula?
No. Would you?
No.
No? I thought Holland Park would do okay, but I didn't think they'd do better than Peninsula. I thought Peninsula would have 3 out of 3 at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I thought Lions would too. Well, didn't you?
Yes.
Darren said that Holland Park, Peninsula are going to, quote, smash everybody.
So you bring the private public again.
No, it's not private when it's out in the... Yeah, all right. Well, okay, yeah. I'll remember that next time. I won't bring it up.
I was only joking with you, by the way. That's fine. We could out him.
Yeah, I know.
He's not here to defend himself. Yeah. It's even better.
I just don't out Juddy because he makes me go to games I don't want to go to, which there aren't any.
I was about to say you're on thin ice there.
Seriously, I ran out of time, but I nearly went to Wolves Redcliffe last night, and I thought I'll get there like 20 minutes into it, but it's going to be 10-0. Anyway.
It's close. It's 13 goals, but anyway.
Peninsula Power, quality side all the way through. Sean Furigal, Kato Archie, the list goes on and on. Jake Brisby and all those players. And Holland Park, well, they've got the wind in their sails and they've got their own quality players. I believe that Marek Mudley was superb last week.
So we've got Power.
Yeah.
Good squad.
Yeah.
Probably not 100% convincing so far.
Yes.
Against Holland Park, who are very tightly knit.
Yes.
They play for each other and they play for their coach. Not that I'm saying any other team doesn't, but they seem to really have that mentality down pat, don't they?
They do. They have got that mentality. It's an interesting thing. They believe in each other. They celebrate like there's no tomorrow when they score. I think whoever scores in this game will be celebrating because they know the value of the result. Which leads me to who's going to win.
That's why I'm glancing off in the distance trying to ponder.
I know I was watching my reflection in your glasses.
Could they do it again? Like a last-minute winner against Lions, could Holland Park snatch it again at the death?
They're capable of it.
It's just feeling like that sort of result, isn't it? Or not?
No, I'm going to go for Peninsula.
Well, I'll be different and go for Holland Park.
Okay, well, I'm going for Peninsula to win that one. I like them playing on their home patch. They love that big flat field, and they have a big crowd out there. Although Holland Park take a few along with them, it's quite a way to go from Carina to...
Yeah, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon down by the Bayside.
I know, it's a beautiful...
Have lunch at Scarborough first.
But then you get home at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, how terrible.
Some of us have to get up before 9 o'clock, That's the games coming up for the weekend. There are our tips. Make sure you get out to some games. You got anything else to talk about?
No, because I think we've talked long enough.
Yeah, I thought we did. There are games on all weekend. Get to as many games as possible. There's lots of FFA Cup coming up. We'll have a draw in about I think there's 2 more weeks of games. I believe South versus Taringa is not next week, the week after.
No, next week is the final matches for round 3. And a draw, I think we're playing some more games just prior to Easter, so we can't have a draw too far away.
All right, well, don't look forward to the draw too much then, because I'm not sure. And there's nothing else you want to talk about. We are the so-called experts, and people call us the so-called experts because, I don't know, I've never claimed to be an expert, have you?
No.
No, there's the other people.
There's so many more people more qualified than me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, qualifications are not everything, but we watch a lot of football.
Do we?
You watch too much football.
I probably do too much football.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. We will be back next week, hopefully, barring car crashes. You're who?
Rafe Griffin.
And what do you do?
Commentate.
And I'm Phil Davison. I'm going to go home and write. In fact, I'm going to go to a game tonight and sit there and write whilst watching a game. That's football love. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.